I one?
I think you might as well do,
Okay.
as always.
Amazing.
You are the lead.
No, I'm the co. You're the host. Remember?
Oh, is it one of them? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always struggle with that co-founder role on LinkedIn. Someone's like,
I just saw the donkey work in the background. That is my role.
that's important role.
And she said it because she wants to make sure that makes it on the camera.
It's an important role.
You know?
Everyone.
Whereas I can tell James, make sure that bit's cut out.
Yeah.
You
You have to have that. You have to have the face and the machine, don't you? I think. He certainly worked well with some events I've been around before. Do you know what I mean?
Right, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Let's
Okay,
do
I
it.
want to
Let's
stop
try and
laughing.
be
Oh
professional.
no, sorry. Look. So, welcome to our podcast. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much for joining us today.
No, you're
Now,
welcome.
for those people that don't know you,
Yeah.
can you tell us who you are, what you do, what you're doing now, and
Yeah.
just a little bit of teasers about, I
Yeah.
suppose,
I struggle with this because I'm certainly not. My CV is not linear. So my name's PJ. At the moment, I'm a BBC radio presenter, but I've got loads of other different projects going on. So I'm helping my wife with her business, the Mortgage Bab. It's flying at the moment. She's doing really well. Really proud of her. So she wants to start scaling that as a proper business. Although she's been doing it for 6 years. Do you know what I mean? But she's more a lifestyle, really.
Yeah.
I was a lawyer for 10 years until I realised I was a bit of a chav with my tats. I've owned a marketing business, which I sold a couple of years ago. But now my projects are more BBC, and that's like presenting, reporting, whatever it might be, helping Kelly grow a business. And I've got still a few community projects going on. A lot of people in Birmingham will probably know me from Love Brum. I set up a charity with my mate about 14 years ago now. And that's a charity that's just done so many brilliant things, very proud of that. And I've just started a new community project called Mommy's Boy, off the back of a personal experience that I've been going through. So pretty busy, you can tell from my face. But I'm trying to moisturise more, so it becomes like a little bit more. But yeah, I've got loads going on. And apart from that bereavement that I've been going through, I'm in a good place.
Good. Please hear that.
Thank you.
You know, and especially for our audience in terms of, as we were discussing off air, in terms of how many different elements our event sector is made up of. And you were even saying yourself in terms of it was eye-opening for you to actually sit back and consider that, wasn't it?
100%, yeah. I said, well, but it's weird actually, because like I think my journey around events, I've been so lucky, if that's the right word, in that it's almost like come full circle, because I'm now hosting them as well. You know, I'm hosting events off the back, I assume, of like being around the BBC and that little bit of profile, I suppose, locally, which I really enjoy. And then I suppose prepping, if that's the right word, although the good old geek in me, usually like I love a good bit of homework. But yeah, I mean, I suppose the anxiety stuff might come out a bit in the conversation, because I didn't realise when I did start looking at events and my journey around events, I didn't appreciate how much they've either shaped me or moved me or educated me, sort of things. Certainly now with this sort of perspective and this massive dollop of hindsight and reflective sort of journey I'm on at the moment, you look back at that journey around events and you realise how important they are, and certainly how many people you meet and are involved in those events along the way.
I think what we found from a number of guests is it's not just the events that they're working on, it's the events that they've experienced themselves as a punter.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, in terms of and that interest and that spark that sometimes come from something. So let's go a little bit back, if you will. And you've talked already, you've teased us, as Karen says, in terms of where this journey started. Let's go all the way back.
Yeah.
Where did PJ start? What was PJ's interest when he was finishing school or something like that? And then what's navigated that change?
Lock the doors. 1979, 10th of August. I was I still am a very anxious person. Like, you know, a lot of people think this like is bravado, is like confidence, but it's probably a bit of a mask really, or an act that I've been used to playing. And that has all sort of been born out around my experiences at school. So, and their events, I suppose. The standard events, you know, that I went to as a kid were the ones that got me excited the most. Were the educational events, you know, going to like the Black Country Museum or whatever it might be. That really empowered me. I loved education. I loved information. When I wasn't playing football, I was a pretty good footballer. I was told all the way through my life, I'd probably make it as a footballer. So that's all I dreamed of. You know, we all had those dreams anyway. And then the standard got injured, released me sort of story, you know. But during that time, I was always like seeking refuge, if that's the right word, in the library. So I loved information. So any events around that, going to this and that through schools were great. And then I started to find these sort of like acting events. So we'd go to the theatre or we'd go to the Royal Shakespeare, and it was just amazing. I just loved plays, I loved literature, I loved that, where it took me. And then I did a bit myself. Like I remember I was like an elf of Rivendell from Hobbit, man. I was like, I even remember the song, Elves of Rivendell away, and I had to die, that was it. But I did a little bit of like, even though I was so nervous and like, you know, used to sort of like strangle me, this anxiety, I appreciated that being part of these events actually sort of empowered me.
Yeah.
I sort of was able to entertain whilst being entertained. It got me out of my way. You know, Mum used to say, you know, just wear the shorts, Peach, you know, get on with your life. And that really enabled that sort of part of things. But then I suppose my life around events has been pretty standard, I suppose, in that, you know, that quickly became sporting events. So, you know, big football fan, very lucky to go to World Cup, Euros, all that sort of stuff. Festivals, I mean, come on, like, you know, V Festival, Reading. Never went to Glastonbury. I've always bottled that, to be fair. I just think it's a pain, like,
Just
sorting
sounds
it all
like there's
out.
too many people. Like it started this week, didn't it?
Oh,
And it's
mate.
like there's just too many people.
It takes about 3 years to register,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like.
it. But like, I was,
But from the people who were there, we know colleagues who were down there
Yeah.
both working and at it.
Yeah, it's just
Who
amazing.
literally, it's their calendar.
Yeah,
You know, that is
yeah.
that is their block on their
I can
calendar.
appreciate that. I mean, when you're in these events, I mean, I've been lucky enough to DJ at V Festival. I mean, what an experience. But when you're in those moments, you're enjoying them for the reason why you're there. And that might be as a kid to listen to X, Y, and Z, you know, Liam Gallagher at Nebworth and have a few beers and just sort of unwind. But I think when you sort of start looking back at those events and really understand, like, why was I there? What did I get out of it? And who was involved to make that happen? You know, you do start understanding there's a whole different new perspective as to how events work, why they work, what's the impact of events. It's not just that, oh, that song was wicked. It might be in the moment, but actually, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later, when you do start going through any reflective part in your life and looking back, you know, I'm not saying you should do that all the time, you learn from those sort of experiences and start realising, actually, that was amazing, that really moved me in that way, that actually took me in that direction. And I'm really grateful for some of the events that I've been to.
Can I ask you about? So you've said you've been a solicitor.
Yeah.
For 10 years.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that as your kind of profession?
Interesting. Like, basically, it was just because at that point I was predicted straight A's. So my careers advisor was like, you can either be a diver or a lawyer, and I was
A
like,
diver
well,
or a lawyer?
right, just a computer, weren't it? What do you like? Swimming. What do you like? Reading. Okay, you can be a diver. Landlocked Birmingham.
I mean,
or a lawyer.
I mean, mine always said the RAF. It was always like everybody had that career
Into the
path. to get-
forces.
The
Yeah, my
forces,
dad
or-
wanted
or
to be a
some-
fighter pilot,
Yeah.
to be fair. He's a very, very clever guy, Dad was. But I think, yeah, it was a mixture of, you know, my dream was just falling apart in front of me. I was playing semi-pro, all this sort of stuff. It was never going to happen. I was too small. I mean, they should have looked at my knees. I was never going to be a footballer, right? Yeah, just I was attracted, I suppose, by the money. It was, you know, it afforded me a nice lifestyle. I was lucky enough to work at a really nice firm. And I suppose the kudos a little bit, you know, I'm a lawyer. And Ali McBeal, do you remember Ali McBeal?
Yeah,
And
Ali
LA Law.
McBeal,
I thought it was all about, like, dancing babies and cocktails, like, you know.
And then when you started, you're like, not as many cocktails.
No, well,
You
to
see,
be fair,
we remember Ali McBeal's, but some of our audience
Yeah.
won't, so they're going to have to look
you
on
have to
YouTube.
look it up, yeah. You might get hooked. I used to love that. Well, you say that, there are not many cocktails, because actually back to the events, that was a flurry of events, you know. I was in a law firm that was at these awards, at these, whatever it might be, and all of a sudden, you know, it was black tie after black tie. Every Thursday, you'd be living for the next black tie event.
Yeah.
And that was a journey, and that was sort of interesting. And, you know, I'm still on that journey now, I suppose. I'm still involved
How
to
did you
events.
get on with that networking side of it with your anxiety?
Yeah, interesting, because I actually don't think, I think there was probably years and years of me going to events and didn't get out what I probably should have got out of those events. So there's probably a number of reasons why you go to those sort of events, certainly for me. To be educated, so you're going to listen to somebody with like authority around something. To be entertained with friends and family, whatever it might be. To entertain if you're working there, whatever it might be. And lots of other reasons, network. And I always thought that one event I had to deliver all of those. So I'd be on the table, the shy person, I'll entertain, then I'll be the clown. I'll try and be entertained by the music, and the food and the ceremony, whatever it might be. I'll try and be educated by listening to that charity, and at the same time I'll try and network, and at the end it was just like, what happened there? Yeah, what happened there? And if I'm honest, I was just leaning then into getting bladdered, like, you know, like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it was just more of a drinking sort of mentality. And then you come away from it and think, what should I get out of that? Got a few business cards and a few standard chats like, oh, let's set up a business together at like 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But yeah, I suppose the anxieties I sort of just lent into. Events were great because it allowed me to get around people and play that part of connecting and networking and entertaining and all that, and it was great. But now I'm more focused on what I'm trying to get out of the event. So if I'm going there to network, I go full in and network. Go and be educated. I educate. I mean, I listen and take that in. Networking can wait, you know. So it's a really nice sort of journey I've been on to enable me now to really get the most out of the events I attend.
That's an interesting way to look at it, because we get lots of people talk to us about, especially new people to the industry and young people, that they find networking quite daunting.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you said you have to go with like one purpose, like you're either networking or you're listening or you're this. Don't try and do it all, because then you'll be like, oh, I'm doing nothing. Yeah,
100%, because off the back of it then, if you know, I mean, networking's a challenge anyway at the best of the time, it's cringe, but like it's pretty basic really. It's building up them relationships. And actually what I find, it's basic stuff really. If you do meet a nice person on your table and you exchange a couple of conversations and you're interested, and then never follow it up, what's the point? You know, sometimes you wake up in the morning like, what happened last night? And actually there's a brilliant opportunity there if you want to network. The person you sat next to, and you forget to contact them or whatever it might be, because you're nursing a hangover for 3 days.
And you never know who's in their phone book. I think that's the other thing, isn't it? In terms of, it's not about what you can get from them. It's about what the relationship you can create. Because I had one recently, you know, someone that I met 2 years ago. Right, on a networking and online networking, who's just introduced me to a client.
Brilliant,
of theirs. You know, just because we didn't think we were ever going to do something directly together, just wasn't that symmetry. But when she was chatting with another colleague in a different meeting, do you know so-and-so? I know him, I can do the intro for you.
Well, that's the power of events, isn't it? Because you'll think that you're sitting next to, I mean, I've always found this anxiety around like, until you get to the board, until you get to that table that you always think you want to be at, you don't realise that they're just normal people. You know, you see these job titles, you think, oh my word, they're just going to be talking to me about like metaphysical poetry or something I won't be able to keep up. But they're just blues fans, like, you know, just lads or ladies. And actually I think the power of events to network is that just build up those relationships. You know, those people might be as anxious as you are. And if you do make that difference, they will stay. You will stay with them.
Be a good person. Listen. And
yeah.
I think that's one of the key ones. Everyone thinks you've got to talk. No, actively listen.
I
say that's even more, you know.
Well, it's powerful,
we've said that before, haven't we, in terms of you got to give you 2 ears and one mouth.
2 ears and one of them,
Balance, get the balance right, you know, in terms of what you're doing.
Not always possible.
Not always possible with you sat at the table, is there?
Not with me and Karen, no. I'd talk to a wall, I would.
How did that switch then come from that focus, 10 years, listed route? What made that transition and move to get out of that sector?
My wife. I just wasn't a nice person. I was just becoming like stressed out. You know, not a horrible person in the sense that I'd go around beating people up. I couldn't find my way out of a paper bag. Just not comfortable. Just completely. I've always had like anxieties around like body dysmorphia, and I think those sort of conversations resonate with most, right? Lost my hair at 18, all that sort of stuff. You don't really unpack that. And I think, add to that a job that was just soulless for me. I mean, I never really loved the law. Some people do. And I'm jealous of people that really love their job. I mean, I'm really lucky to do stuff I love now. But yeah, my wife just said, look, you know, life isn't, she's very spiritual, she's not materialistic. Even though she's got loads of handbags, but hey ho. You know, you've got to have your handbag.
Have your handbags, correct.
Not those ones, they're expensive. I can't believe how much you leave some ladies' paper. Or rather, anyway, that's another, cut that. She just pulled me out of it and said, look, you know, we want you. I'd missed 8 years of my son's life, basically. You know, just literally selling my soul. Just something had to happen. And then I fell into marketing. So some guy just offered me a job, said, look, do you want to do some biz dev, like, you know people? Everyone just thinks I'm a good salesman because I know people, like, nah, it's not the way. But yeah, and then the rest is history, really.
So when you did your first, like, hosting gig, How did you prep for that, and how did you feel, and which one was it? Can you remember?
So yeah, it was Sam Frampton at Solihull Chamber of Commerce. She just phoned me and said, or contacted me and said, like, you're hosting this event. I was like, am I? Right, fair enough. And I'd never had no sort of like, not interest, but like, I'd never done it before really. I'd naturally hosted events, but like, you know, ones I've organised myself, but not like the MC, not the Phil Uptons or the Phil Aldershaws or the Dan Kellys and all that, Ed James and all that, not that vibe. So I approached it. I always give my all to things, so I knew I'd be confident enough to know what I'm saying. So I did a lot of research around the messages they wanted to convey. There was a script there as well, so I always had a fallback. But it was so nerve-wracking. My wife came to support me, and to be fair, I was so lucky. The feedback was just ridiculous, and off the back of that, a bit like you, mate, you know, the feedback, I mean, the referrals and like the conversations just led to me getting, I mean, within the space of like 6 weeks, I won all the World Cups and the Euros, had the Chamber, the Birmingham Law Society, you know, Birmingham Awards, I had them all ticked off. But I think that's what hosts do, don't they? They do 12 months and then disappear for another 12 months, come back on. But it's been great. It's been really helpful for my confidence. And actually, if I'm completely honest, the life journey I've been on since I lost my mum 12 months ago, God bless her, I'm starting to. I mean, she's certainly overpaid for it, and I've overpaid for this sort of gift of perspective, but I sort of care less now. It doesn't mean I don't care, it just means I care less of what people think about me, and I might stumble over a few words. It doesn't really bother me, no one cares. They're all in the same stress loops and whatever it might be.
And I think that's a really interesting point for our listeners to take on board, that you've just got to be you in every situation. That I always tell people, like, if you're hosting, everybody else is thinking, oh my God, thank God I'm not doing it. Like, I don't want to do it. So actually give that person a bit of slack, that you're a normal person just on stage, and everybody's thinking, oh my God, he's doing that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
or they're not listening. Do you know what I mean? Like they're talking amongst themselves, you know, like they're just there waiting for the cabaret or the food or whatever, you know.
And they don't know the script. So actually, if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. I did an event the other week, and the host completely forgot to introduce the chief exec. And I sat there just going, has she got the right script? Oh my God, has she read it? Oh my God. And then eventually she realised. And then I said to the client, I said, but it makes it a more human event. Like, we're not all robots. And she could, and then she apologised. And actually, it was a lovely experience then. That.
Well, yeah, you're right. I think.
And we've all seen awards where you can literally see the person up front just reading off a teleprompter all the way through, 100%. And you just zone out.
Yeah, 100%.
And from what you said at the beginning, I can fully believe this in terms of you do your homework. You know, and I think some people forget that. You know, hosts and MCs do the homework. It's their full-time profession. You know, they're not just walking onto stage unprepared. You know, and you know, your fact of loving that time in the library and doing your homework and being prepared. Hosts do that homework.
Well, I think you can tell the ones that do as well. And I think then you can make it more natural, if that makes sense, because you don't have to read from an auto cue and what have you. I think some great advice the BBC gave me. I did my first show. Was that just before Christmas, probably about 10 months after joining the BBC, because it was bizarre how that happened. They just phoned me and said, oh, you're at a loose end, like, you know, a loose end, not the busiest I've ever been, like, you know, but the one advice was like, actually, if you're honest with your listener, they'll follow you. So if you do, I've literally been chatting to guests in another room, and my songs have ran out, so I've got dead air on the BBC. I run in, put my fader up, go, sorry guys, I was just having a little chat outside, I completely forgot. I didn't realise Madonna was 3 minutes 26. I thought I had another 10 seconds. And they're fine, you get a few messages, we heard you, don't worry. And actually, if anything, dead air is great, isn't it? See these advertisements on telly now, there's nothing on, you turn. Get your attention, doesn't it?
Because sometimes there's too much, isn't there? It can be information overload instead of just taking a pause.
Well, I suspect that might have been actually, my life's been so, like, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm absolutely like so buzzing of the stuff that I've been able to do. But actually I do think, I'm doing another project now with a friend, Wit and Grit. It's all about looking, we've both got young kids, and we're fearful, I suppose, of what their future looks like in relation to this world of AI, where they're outsourcing themselves to AI but then can't or don't have those emotional intelligence or human intelligence skills. And actually, I'm trying to think, well, actually, I mean, they're a great generation. They get beaten up and they're brilliant. But I remember me as a kid wow, if I had that information now at my fingertips, I used to have to go to encyclopedias to get it. They just dial up.
They just Google
My
it.
anxiety would be all over
Can
the
you not
place.
remember, did no one else do those tree of knowledges where you collected each week in terms of the big files? And
Yeah,
you
put it in the folders and stuff.
That was your encyclopedia.
It
You
was
collected
amazing.
it from the newsagents and added it, and that was your go-to for homework.
You might have a cassette on the front
exactly.
if you're lucky. And there was those ones where like, bing, and you turn it over. Oh man, yeah, those are the days. But yeah, these kids have got so much information. No wonder that, you know, men's mental health is going through the roof, men's loneliness, because ironically you think you're happy and content because you're scrolling through other people's lives, but it just stresses you out, man.
Yeah, it does, because you're then seeing what the people are doing, but is that a true version of what they're doing?
It's
and
all
you're like,
filtered,
oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
that's it. And
Exactly.
I'm going to give us a pause. I'm going to jump somewhere else, and then we're going to return to some of the stuff that you're involved with now. But let's talk about some favourite events. You know, let's put a smile on our face a little bit, and let's talk about some of those that if you were to go to an event, if you were chatting with someone for the first time and they said, what's your favourite event that you've been to or worked on?
Interesting. Okay, there's two, I think, that stand out. I mean, the V Festival and all that, you know, that the moments of like, you know, living your life and that hedonistic sort of like, yeah man, free love, and then DJing, like mint. But it's not one of my favourites. I went to see Sam Fender live at St James's Park in his hometown, Newcastle. Yeah, clocked it, mate. You a Geordie or a Mackem?
I'm born a Geordie.
Oh, are you? Okay, but now we're a Mackem. Is that where it's going?
No. I was brought up in Yorkshire, but I'm back up in the north east
really?
again.
Okay, cool. Oh, beautiful. I love it up there. And I didn't know I needed that event as much as I did until I went to that event. So bizarre. So my wife, we'd become like Sam Fender fans pretty quickly. And my wife had surprised me or whatever, I think it was birthday, Christmas, whatever it might be, for some tickets. I love live music, but don't go to many gigs anymore. Again, probably the anxiety stuff. I sometimes prefer to watch it on the old telly, And anyway, we went up, went to Newcastle, you know, everyone's really friendly. I lent into that whole sort of working class vibe. We went to all the working class pubs and
social. There's a symmetry, Brum, Newcastle, there's a real symmetry.
That was I grew up in working men's clubs, like, you know, football clubs, social clubs. That's, you know, in the community, like where people are getting hard work done, sort of thing. You know, I went to school in Chelmsford Wood, which is classed as deprived. I mean, I hate that word, but it's a real community. They'd give you your last fiver, you know, people in that community. Absolutely brilliant. And Newcastle's very similar, and I think we get on together, those regions. Anyway, went up, lent into all the good stuff. It was a really hot day, so on the evening it was open air sort of. The temperature come down. It was light, a long day, almost summer solstice sort of thing. You know, it was just that perfect. Semi t-shirt at like 8 o'clock comes on, unbelievable. And I mean, it's going now. And I didn't realise that I needed that to be moved in that way. I'd been having some sort of I'd been through a journey in selling my business at the time, and Kelly had clocked that. So my wife had clocked that without probably going into it. But she just knew that was something that I needed, and together I started to appreciate and be grateful for the people that are in my life, along with the opportunities we get to do at the time. Just that time of life, at that very moment, it just stuck with me, and it will stick with me forever. And I can't really articulate that feeling other than I just needed it so much at that moment in time. So that was definitely one of those, you know.
For me, just listening to it, it is what events create. You know, those experiences, you never know how, you know, a rigger at that event who has been made to work until the early hours to get something finished,
100%,
who doesn't understand what people who are attending the event get from it.
Well, take a bow.
Thousands of those stories.
Everyone that's sweeping the floor, to the lighting engineers, and to Sam, everyone. There's hundreds and hundreds work on events like that, and I mean, they moved and changed my life that moment.
We always say, don't we, that from a planning perspective is to take that moment and take a step back and look at what's been created. Because
we don't always get the chance to.
Because you're too busy thinking about what's happening next and moving 100%. On. Actually, that moment to go, let's breathe in, even if it's 5 minutes, to go, that's amazing. And then the energy that's in the room, whether it's a dinner, an exhibition, a concert, just go, that's why people work as hard as they work, and the shifts 100%. They put in for that. For what you're saying.
It's interesting because I started to think about that, and that probably leads into my second event. So my second favourite event, I think you helped me with it, to be fair, was the Harry Moseley Charity Ball. So it's a local cancer charity, Help Harry, Help Others. And basically I stumbled across, long story cut short, Karen will be able to tell you, but a young boy was diagnosed with a brain tumour, I'd just become a dad. Started like finding that heart that I never thought I had, crying at like John Lewis adverts and stuff like that. And I stumbled across this young boy that was dying, and I thought had this like morbid obsession, like following his journey. He passed away. It gives you all that hindsight and gratitude and all that sort of stuff. But I felt like I really needed to do something. I was still a lawyer at the time. Reached out to his mum, said, "Look, can I come and meet you? I'll put a golf down or something. I've got to do something." Birmingham's been good to me. Anyway, she said yes, and it just spiraled out of control. Like the response was just ridiculous, wasn't it? So I thought, I'm going to turn this into a black tie event. It was you that helped me the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I met Karen, and who was really helpful and supported us massively. Even though I won't say how much discount she gave me, but she made it viable for us to do it at the biggest event at the time, the one that hosted the amount. We had 1,200 people there, and so the reason why I remember it, and I'm so fond of it, for a number of reasons. Some of it wasn't brilliant, if I'm honest, in the sense that me and the wife ended up in marriage counselling because I know how hard it is to run an event. It wasn't up until the very sort of last few weeks we got like an event management team in because I just couldn't cope. But I was coming in from being a lawyer, 8 o'clock, I'd eat my dinner, start again 9 till 2, just work. I used to send you emails at 3 o'clock, and she replied.
It's the best time to get us.
Yeah, to be fair, you just finished an event. And we did all this, and so I started to appreciate how important events are to people, and that could be commercially, brand awareness, education, whatever it might be. That was sort of everything, really. We were talking about this charity we'd just set up, Help Harry Help Others, the story of Harry Moseley, why people should get involved, all that sort of stuff to raise money. So we had all those going on. And it was just an amazing experience. I met a good friend from it because I was failing, and I put on Facebook, anyone want to help me out? That was Tim Andrews, and we went on to set up Love Brum together. So all these sliding door moments were happening. Me and my wife got through it, actually, ironically, made us ask real important questions quite early on into our relationship, and 15 years later, we're still married, I think. Been together 18 years, just in case you're listening, Cal. She listens to all my stuff, so I've got to get this right.
She will be.
I think that's right.
Do you want to just?
Yeah. Let me check it out.
just double check.
Kelly, I love you so much. However long we've been married, I love you. That's 15 years, definitely. And then literally we did it, and it was an amazing evening. We raised £120,000, didn't we? And we did that one. But what I remember so much about it was that it just, this why that we sort of referenced just then, that why, I stuck to it all the way through, and that why was like, right, I just want to make an impact for this charity. I want to make sure we deliver the story. I want to make sure people go away educated, entertained. I want to raise as much money as we can. It was pretty easy, if I'm honest, in that sense. Wet Nose Charity, people were all over that. But it moved me. Yeah. It actually made me think, actually, because I never made any money from charity. It's always been a voluntary basis. But it just made me feel like, oh, you know what, I've done something now. There's some sort of legacy there. And it's an event that carries on there.
Yeah, I remember it was an emotional evening. And like, because I've done quite a few events at ICC, and looking back, because I think that's when I met you, and the event result, and because it was from Birmingham, you're hosting it in a venue in the city for people of the city. Yeah. It was very emotive that evening.
It really was. And I learned from that evening, actually, which would be something that I think you guys touched upon, was I didn't realise how much of a hole that would leave in my life. Like the next day, I felt like a come down from hell. It was just like, I felt emotionally drained. I felt almost like, and now because of that and all the other experiences I've had around events, I've started to get better at knowing there'll be this sort of fallout and understanding how to lean into it. Because like literally 3 o'clock in the morning, and for the rest of the week, I was liking, posting, retweeting. I mean, the response was just ridiculous, wasn't it? The outpour of love and support. And I thought, actually, with hindsight now, I'd better prepare in how to deal with that. Take yourself away for a day or something, give yourself a bit of self-love or whatever is self-care. Yeah. But yeah, it's got to be, and my mum was there supporting, and and it was really weird because I hosted an event there the other day, and it was so bizarre. I thought, oh, this is going to happen. I said, where am I sitting? And so I was just there, and that's exactly where Mum sat for the Harry Moseley one. So it was, that power of events is just, it's just so, you don't understand until you really do think about it.
Now, the next bit I'd like you to touch on, Karen and I had a discussion a couple of weeks ago, and there's the new charity that you're just setting up, which Karen and I are going to put in as our charity sponsor for the coming season, for season 15.
Oh, wow.
So we'd like you to share with our listeners in terms of who it's about and who it's for and where did it come from.
Well, that's,
I know you didn't know, but
that's pretty emotional.
we'd like
thank
you
you.
to.
Oh, that's very kind. I'm sure we could do some brilliant things together.
So,
thank
would you like to tell us a little bit more about this new charity?
Yeah, so I suppose the last 12 months has been quite, just I lost mum basically. Mum was like, my first best mate, blah blah blah, all the rest. Like, she was young-ish, 65, 66, no age. She wasn't ill. She was very very ill, but we didn't know. And then, I would say from the day we started to know, 5 days later we lost her. And it was just so quick and it was traumatic. I don't think I'll ever be able to unpick that. And so I've been able to navigate my way through this 12 months through the network and support framework that I've got. My friends, family have just been amazing. And actually work, like at the time I was doing early shifts, I thought there's no way I'm gonna be able to cope with this. But actually getting out of bed and forcing me out of bed and to meet people was just actually really, really comforting, because I think I would have gone the other way if I didn't have to get out of bed. So I'm grateful for that. But I'm struggling every day, still crying every day, and I'm just having these panic attacks. Yeah, I was making a tuna and a cucumber sandwich today, and next thing I know, I was on the floor, just like in a huge panic attack, because Mum taught me how to make that sandwich. It's bizarre, and I'd never experienced grief. So my grandparents weren't alive when I was born. Never had any grandparents. I've lost friends, but this is my first blood loss, and sorry, Dad, she's my favourite. I'm joking. I'm a mommy's boy. So there we go. So I'm calling this. It's a CIC. It's a social enterprise, but it's charitable. It's never going to be a commercial entity for me. And it's. I want to create a safe, brave, dare I say, community for blokes that have lost their mum. Now it will extend to other people. It'll be men's mental health, female mental health, whatever it might be. But because this has been my lived experience for the last 12 months. And will be forever, at least I know I can talk about it. And I know from the outpour of people that have contacted me to say things like, you'd never believe, like I lost my mum 20 years ago, never been able to talk about it. I nearly killed myself last night because I lost my mum 4 years ago, and I thought, hang on a second. So I started looking at data around male loneliness, mental health, suicide, all this, it's all there. And it's going in the wrong direction. And I think us blokes need to, there is data to say, so it's not me just even, it's not rhetorical or anything. Blokes are more comfortable talking side by side to people that are going through the same experiences, and that's what I'll do. So, Mummy's boy was always derogatory. I used to speak to my mum every day. I'm so grateful I did now. I told her I loved her every day. And I was a mummy's boy because of that, and it was quite derogatory. Oh, you mummy's boy. Yeah, I've had girls say to me, God, you love your mum more than me. Yeah, you're right. That's why we're not together anymore. And I'm so glad I did that. But mummy's boy will now be more of a positive spin, a safe place for blokes to come together and just have a chat.
Which is what I was going to say, like, it's creating that safe place for somebody to go and have a chat, and they're not judged, you can say what you want. And I think that, for when I started to read about it, I was like, that's what it is, because it's hard to talk about grief, and people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to be judged for talking about it, and is it the right time? And actually you want to be where it's non-judgmental. Yeah,
it feels niche, like it feels super niche, but actually I want to stick to that, because when I was looking for support, there's some brilliant charities and community projects that no doubt I'll collaborate on. Andy's Man Club, Well Run Brum, Calm, they're all there, 2 pints deep. But you think, oh, actually, am I depressed? Have I got mental health issues? And you have, but you don't see them because actually they're off the back of PTSD or alcoholic addiction and stuff. And I'm not experiencing that. I've just lost my mum. And I thought, actually, that would be, and the reason why I launched it when 12 months after mum had passed was because I wanted to honour her. This will be her legacy, because she was the most helpful of people. She knew when people needed to talk. We'd have a painter and decorator around the house, and within a heartbeat they'd be out in the garden crying to each other, because she just knew. She was just amazing at that. And I'll do it for her, and for me, and for the blokes that have lost their mums. And I did think I'd be flying out the traps. And it's been about 3 weeks since I launched it, and I can't, because the outpour of support, and I can't wait to talk about how we can work together.
Still wading through the messages to get.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I've been so lucky. Everyone's just been so lovely, but I don't want to lose sight of how. I just want to keep it nice and simple. Just start with an event. Maybe that's where you can help. And it's just tea and biscuits, whatever it might be. What Love Brum was good at, we spent about 6 months going to the market, for want of a better word, saying this is Love Brum. We think we want to unearth some hidden gem projects in Birmingham and then support them. But do you agree with us? And the more we got like yes, and we sort of started to shape it in a way that we think would be responded to positively. That's what I want to sound out initially. Is this something you want, gents? How do you want this safe place to look? Is it online? Is it in, so got a bit of that exploratory stage to go, but I can't wait.
And we said when we were chatting about it, and the reason why we want to get involved was because even if you just impact on one person, it's done its purpose. That's for us. Sometimes people get carried away in terms of we want to grow this into the huge thing. Just let it evolve in its natural
100%.
state.
100%.
And if you help one person along the way, and they literally change, it's done its job.
Well, I think it has, like you can get tied into all these ways of measuring social impact and stuff, but I've just got the messages to say that just me talking about it, and then the response and conversation that's led from that, some blokes are then going, actually, I've got, we're all going through this. It's not just me being this mommy's boy that's soft, and actually it's a big moment that we need to talk about. And
so there'll be more on that coming.
Yes,
there'll definitely be more on that coming.
I'm
sure Laura will be keeping us and cracking the whip and sharing some more stuff on that.
Yeah, mate. Well, if I can help you guys as well, mate, it's a two-way thing. So thank you, appreciate that.
So, advice and guidance.
Yes.
I think this gentleman across from us is bound to have some great advice and guidance.
I feel like he's touched on quite a lot already. So, advice and guidance for our listeners, either something you've been told or something you want to pass on.
Interesting. I think the honesty thing is so important. I think you'll just always see, if you're an honest person, and you're setting up an event, you'll see that the fabric of that event will be honest and clean and real and authentic. But I think more sort of formally advice would be probably the why is so important. So there's loads of, if you're going to events, and I would recommend people to go into events if they're enthusiastic around a certain subject or whatever it might be. I think understand your why. What is it? Don't be afraid to make it commercial. We've all got a mortgage to pay for, but what is that message? What does that person? How is it going to move that person? If you can move one or two of those people, you've done your job. There's loads of rinse and repeat sort of templates, I suppose, that you can go and do awards dinners and whatever it might be. But potentially, how do you still maintain that sort of message and that authenticity via that template? I'd also probably say experience, be warned there's going to be that sort of hole that, how do you, as an event professional, I suppose that's a question to you guys maybe, how do you, you can't pause for too long, can you?
It's jumping the gun.
I know,
it's jumping the
gun.
gun.
Okay.
But just think, Jack, if you ask it now, we can prep.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, that isn't the question actually, or is it? Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be.
That's two questions.
Yeah, I think understand why you're doing it. Try and stay true to that. I know there's budget restraints and timelines and all that. You can't have Kylie Minogue at a village fete. Even though you might want to. Yeah. I mean, I know one who thinks she's Kylie Minogue from Dudley, a lady called Karen, actually. But yeah, I think you've got to be enthusiastic. You've got to love what you do. You've got to be, and I do genuinely think that fallout I had as a host, even I finished my gig now, and I've already got a process how I wind down quickly. I know it sounds a bit minging, but it's a shower, it's the hotel, it's something uploaded where I can watch, it's an audio book, whatever it might be. Because the first couple of ones I was liking and replying until 4 a.m, and the next day you just whacked. So that process around, it's not just the lead up, it's that fallout as well. And that fallout comes from marketing as well. How do we start engaging, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think that, and just enjoy. I think self-care. I'm sure, I don't know whether you've ever experienced burnout. I'm sure you have. Event professionals work so hard.
No,
every event, and you're crying out the back, you get a difficult client, don't you?
Yeah.
Someone doesn't turn up, the mics go down, whatever. Understand that that's going to happen, and no one really cares. If anything, it's something people talk about. And yeah, just be. I mean, one of the things that Karen was so great. What I'm so grateful for people like Karen was that I asked questions. She was helpful. Be willing to sort of share the knowledge and the experience that you've got, because people are. I was so nervous to think, how are 1,200 people going to come through this door, and with the information and experience, and you gave me a lot of comfort from that, and the professional obviously support you gave me. Ask questions. And that's just my advice in life, especially Brummies and Geordies. If you say I need help, people will respond positively. And I didn't do that for a while, and when you do, it's amazing.
And I think don't be fearful to ask, that people won't judge you because you've asked for help.
100%.
Just ask.
You'd much rather. We always say that the most stupid question is the question not asked.
Yeah, 100%.
Because people build up all this pressure in terms of, I shouldn't really ask it because I should know the answer.
Yeah.
They put so much pressure on, and actually, if you ask, you'll get your job done far better.
And I think there's a respect piece as well. Actually, I think I'm not necessarily saying it was me, but like there'll always be someone that wants something for nothing, like and you'll go to an event professional and go, oh come on, sharpen your pencil. And like I had that all my life when in digital marketing. Like, oh, this is the cost of a website. Oh, go on, sharpen your pencil. Why? Be confident in the expertise that you're providing.
Yes.
It's not just not everyone can set up events. It takes resilience, resolve, organisation, commitment, endurance. There's a psyche there that you need, and there's value there in having that ability. So don't get like your pants pulled down.
Right, we're about to get pants pulled down in terms of we're passing the ownership over the podcast.
Right,
in terms of
I'm in control now.
He's in control and we're not, so be gentle.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'm going to ask 2 questions, I think. The first one will be naturally from that then. So how do you guys as event professionals, non-stop, day in, day out, living the dream, how do you cope with that sort of fallout? The next day you're like, ugh. Is there anything like particular that you do?
Well, after an event, I was like, I just need quiet. So I just want to sit at home, or if you're in a hotel, I just need to just sit for a few minutes and got the TV on, and you're not watching it. You just need to kind of, like you say, it needs to just drain out of you. That's it. Just needs to go. Cup of tea. That's it. And whereas midway through an event, it might be like, I need a glass of wine. Right at the end of it, no, I just need to sit and just take your shoes off because your feet are throbbing by that point. That's me. And then then it's a bounce back into normal life. Like then you've got your distraction of your family. So I just need that time. Like I got home yesterday from an event. It was on me straight away. I was like, I need just a minute. Like I need a minute just to, and that's it.
And is there any sort of like techniques within that minute? Or is it just literally calm and tranquility?
I just need to sit and just kind of let it all wash away from me. That's it.
Okay.
I think I have like I'll go to the gym, I do some swimming, and I find swimming really relaxing because you're just focusing on I'm up and I'm down, and I'm thinking I'm in Ibiza and I'm not. I'm in Litchfield. I'm up, but that I find really kind of that de-stresses me a lot. And I don't really do more than that. I think probably because I'm so used to the event, like the up and the down, and a lot of my roles have been back to back. So actually, you kind of you're constantly on that little cycle of keep going and keep going. But then your family time for me is really important, that you're fully in your family moment. You've forgotten what you did yesterday because you're like dancing or footballing or partying or whatever it is.
And you're present.
You're present.
Truly present. Not just physically present, truly present.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. So, I mean, mine's probably, some people hate driving, I love driving. Mine's driving. Because literally you've got to concentrate because you're driving. But it just allows you mentally to just switch off. And if I can put an audio book on or a podcast on, which is not related.
This podcast.
I don't necessarily listen to my own podcast, no, but I listen to podcasts that I don't have to pay too much attention to and don't have to invest too much time in. But it just takes your mind and allows you to relax. And because I'm driving as well, you're not thinking about what you've just done. That time just allows you to just relax, and if it's not driving, if it's at an airport, there was a time when I used to get really frustrated. Oh, that's a delay, it's another delay. Well, actually, I'll just put my earphones in and I'll just watch the world go by, and I'm not thinking about the event that I've just delivered.
That's really helpful, that is.
Writing notes. I still write notes, but I try and write notes and so they're parked. So I don't forget them, but I don't have to deal with them right now.
You've brain dumped, haven't you? I've done that.
It's literally, it's parts there. I can deal with it over the coming days as part of the evaluation of what's just gone on. But it doesn't have to be jumped on I don't have to be on a phone call. I don't have to be on the computer straight away because it's the end of an event. And people find their own. I've now got a dog. I'm a dog owner a year and a half in now.
Wicked,
and that's another one for me in terms of long day on the computer, loads of information. Put him on the lead and we go for a walk.
Love it,
and
it's
completely different.
Bo's now 5. What's your dog's name?
Teddy.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy and Bo. You got a dog, Karen?
No. I'm not allowed.
Not yet.
I've got kids.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
fair
allowed
enough.
dog.
Yeah, I had to get my wife to pitch me the reasons why I should get a dog, because she was at me all the time, go for a dog, and I was like, no, I'm scared of them. Best things. I mean, yeah. Oh, well, that's really helpful. Thank you, because I think whatever it looks like, I think people need to understand that is something to do. I mean, in all walks of life, isn't it? It's not just events.
Yeah. Relationships are exactly the same.
Oh,
We'll have all
100%.
had those relationships where actually you focus and you're getting so intense in that relationship that actually you both need the time out.
Yeah.
So find a way to have the time out, because if you keep going, there's only a negative result.
Yeah.
You know, so if you allow yourselves your time out in that scenario, and I'm talking about work and at home as well.
Yeah.
You know, trying to find those releases. Yeah. Just to allow everyone to sort of put things into a bit of perspective.
I love that. Writing things down. You know, having your cup of tea, whatever it might be. Talking of that, got a cup of tea here. Hello, mate.
Yeah.
You okay? It's all right, mate. You can. It's all right.
It's quite all right. Come and sit down.
Mate, they're always looking for little outtakes and stuff, so it's perfect timing. It's perfect timing. There's your outtake. I think we're coming to a natural end anyway, mate, to be fair.
Oh, no, you haven't. You're not through it yet.
Oh, okay,
You're not through it yet.
Well, let me ask you one more question. Right? I'm really keen. I could ask you all the standard, like, who's your favourite guest? Who would you have, dead or alive? And maybe that's another podcast. But I think I'm really conscious of, like, so my career path was, I did something that I didn't enjoy, lawyer. It was just the money and people dictating to me that I should be a lawyer. Kids now, I think, and I'm only looking at me as a dad, I want kids to be more, I'd love, basically we've told Blake, he's 14, when he's 15, he's getting a job in customer service, he's going to work down the local cafe, I want him talking to people, I want him connecting, I want him not serving, but like exchanging those sort of whatever. How do kids get into events, right? And what do you think the benefits of working in this industry would be for young kids that might struggle with confidence and stuff like that?
I think if you look at some of the big events out there, if you look at the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games, any of the international sporting events, for example, just as an example, the most common age bracket for volunteers is young or old.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You know, either retired people,
really young or really old.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there's two benefits to that. One, it's given those youngsters some experience, but what you naturally find is when they put in their teams of volunteers, there's a mix.
Yeah.
So they're automatically mixing with retired individuals as well as peer groups, and they're helping out professionals on a large scale event, and they're dealing with the public. So I think there's always opportunities that young people should be looking out for in terms of some of the big large scale events, if they're fortunate to do so. Yeah. Look at what's happening in your area. Okay. So that would be one for me.
No, I was going to say, like, with younger kids, so I've got youngest, I've got 8 and a 3, and like with Arthur playing football, it's like it's explaining what an event is. Like, it's not necessarily like a concert or like, a conference. Actually planning your football team, what you're doing, that's an event. So who's bringing the water, where you're going. So actually getting them to see that everything can be an event, and you can have your little say in what you're doing, and go and help at school if they need help, like at your summer fair, whatever. Volunteer to do that. Like, it's all those little things that then they realise, oh, that's an event, and it gets them chatting to people. Like, and I think sport's a big thing to get people their confidence building as well. But Arthur's really interested in what I do. He's like, Mummy, what are you doing again today? Oh, okay. And so, like, it's explaining that it's not just that one thing, it's
so weird, because when you asked me to do this podcast, I thought that I instantly went to an event like the Black Tie Awards evening. I thought that's an event. Well, actually, no, we're part of events day in, day out. I mean, the Commonwealth Games, so I can't believe I didn't mention that when you said favourite. I mean, that was a brilliant.
Did you attend?
I did, mate. I was really lucky. I went to a few. Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Oh, well, you did a great job.
So here, this was my venue.
Oh wow, it was just stunning, mate. It was just. I went to the Alexander Stadium for a few events, and it was just it was amazing. And for me, it was a sense of community that it brought. That civic pride around the city that we love. One of the reasons why I set Loughborough up, it was like, I want to make sure Birmingham stays on the map. But yeah, my son went there as well, and actually I think the education piece around talking to kids and go, actually, listen, you're not just about, it will be hard work, you've got to you've got to work hard on these events, but the stuff that you get out of it, that feeling of being part of something that changes people's days, that makes them feel better, that puts the city on the map, how cool's that? I wasn't doing that as a lawyer. I was going home just crying in my car on the way home, do you know what I mean, every night. Genuinely. Oh, thanks for that.
I think we'll
have a little pause.
Have a little pause at this point. naturally, we've got a quickfire round sponsor. And you can prep yourself. You'll get yourself nervous with all those lists of things on her notebook, and we'll come back into a quickfire.
Cool. I've got quickfire questions. Wow.
Only a few.
Sound.
Only 52.
52, sweet.
I noticed the list. She has got 52.
Genuinely? What, one for every week of the bloody year? Jesus. What time's this finishing?
There'll only be 13. There'll only be 13 for you, so she's just going to select a few.
Fine. Can I have a drink, or do you want to do it now?
You have a
sure?
drink.
Thank you.
Prep yourself.
Is this one of your sponsors, is it? Ty? Do you have sponsors for stuff like this?
We've got sponsors in terms of the podcast.
Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They're easy questions, fun questions.
Yeah, mate, I'm all game. Don't you worry. You ask away, mate.
Right.
Go on, go.
So, are you ready for your quick fire?
Hang on, let me have a little
I can relax here and just giggle.
I might have one for you, Jack, though, in
Oh
there.
no, I'm relaxing.
Come on in.
So, this is the hard bit, really, because this is where we find out a little bit more about you. Right, you ready?
God.
So,
It's like a counselling session.
It might be after.
yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Therapy after this. So, concert or festival?
Oh, wow. Now, that is a tough one, because I said one of my favourites was a concert.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What, now?
Yeah.
Or,
Like,
oh, man. Concert.
what was the first career you dreamed of as a kid?
Footballer.
Now, after this, we can't go to the bar today, but another time,
Yeah.
Jack's taking us to the bar.
Oh, cheers, mate.
What's he buying you?
What we having?
Yeah.
Depends what day it is and what sort of day I've had. At the
Weekend.
Weekend, all right, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to lose some weight at the moment, so I haven't been drinking as much as I usually
What
do.
is it? Slimline gin and tonic?
Oh, yeah, it's boring already. It's boring.
Water?
And it's like 26 quid.
He's been kind on my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Beer and Moretti, like it's cold,
Nice.
ice cold
Yeah.
beer, man.
In a beer garden.
Yeah, in a
relaxing.
beer garden. Yeah. Pork scratchings, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
always good.
Do you like
Yeah.
the puffy pork scratches?
Nah,
or normal?
proper ones.
That's,
No,
it's
you're gonna have
strange that
proper
that's been
ones that-
created, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
try the ones in the Black Country, man. Absolutely wicked.
Where in the world would you love to visit but haven't had the opportunity to yet?
Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, just I'm scared of flying.
I was going to say that's a long
Yeah,
distance.
that's
flight.
really-
That's a long time. on
I've done
a
the
ship.
Americas and all that,
Yeah.
like, but when I say I've done the Americas, Florida, New York, not like South America, traveling
Up into the
Brazil.
Midwest, yeah.
yeah, just like Florida and that. And New York about 8 times. My missus loves it there, but yeah, I'm not a good flyer.
Hence the handbags, though. She likes New York.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. I'll tell you, that would be one thing. If you can go to New York in every season, I feel so lucky to be able to have done that. It was the most beautiful thing to have been able to
Different
do.
ones, yeah.
Absolutely wicked.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Eaten. That's a challenge. I don't know. Wow, that's put me on the spot because I'm not a picky eater. So, well, I suppose not the weirdest thing, as in like I haven't been on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here and all that sort of stuff. It's not like a kangaroo's anus or whatever.
God.
But I would say one of the weirdest things I do eat when I'm in bulk stage, i.e. just eating loads, and this is a mix of mum and university. 2 pieces of bread toasted, 2 pieces of toast, butter, 2 burgers, cheese, bacon, fried egg, bean. Yeah, is that right? Cheese, bacon, fried egg, beans. Done.
On toast.
Yeah.
I love it.
9,000 calories.
Yeah.
And I put jalapenos on
Oh,
everything.
I mean-
and full fat mayonnaise on a Sunday dinner.
I mean,
On a Sunday.
on a
Sunday
Sunday
dinner,
dinner.
yeah.
Okay, that's the way. That's the way.
That's
the
the one.
weirdest thing, that's it.
Full fat mayo. And mustard on a Sunday dinner. But I've been stopping that because somebody's told me it's not very good for me.
Mayonnaise, I mean,
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm just going to be thinking about that now. Right, on an event, what's the one thing you can't be without, but not your phone?
One thing I can't be without. I used to take aftershave, like.
That's not a bad, that's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
bad thing.
But,
Pressure comes.
Yeah.
Probably this is going to sound like I've got bad breath, but I haven't. But mints,
Yeah.
sometimes to hand them out.
Yeah, that's it as well. Do you want one?
Yeah, mints, because I love a good chat, and I hate to think that like I'm sitting next to someone and ruining their evening.
Yeah.
Now think about this one carefully. Who would you be marooned on a desert island with?
After my wife and my kids and my parents and.
There we go, correct.
It's a challenge, that is. It probably would have been Peter Schmeichel back in the day. I was a goalkeeper, and I never grew, but he was my hero.
And his documentary's great.
Yeah, class. After that, Natalie Imbruglia. No comment.
See, that's another good one. That's another good one. I don't disagree.
Drive or chauffeur driven?
Drive, for all the reasons above. Yeah.
Now think about this one as well. Who's your favourite Disney character?
Oh man, Snow White. Just reminds me of my mum and my sister.
Right.
Just lovely, lovely person. But after that, Donald Duck. He's cool.
Classic Donald Duck.
Yeah. Who's yours? That's a good question, that is, because that can go off in loads of tangents. That.
I like Baloo the Bear in Jungle Book.
Look for
because I love Jungle Book. Yeah.
Bare necessities. They used to be. They're all the scout leaders as well, isn't it? Baloo and Bagheera and Arkela.
Yeah.
I just love the original Jungle Book. That's my favourite one.
Can I just do a shout out to a Disney character?
Yeah.
Right. Everyone loves Mickey and Minnie, right? But apparently, right, think about it. Pluto. Was he the dog? Was he the dog? Who was the other dog? You had Pluto. Goofy, right? Who's the taller one? Is that Goofy?
Goofy, yeah.
Goofy, single parent, brought up his kid. So if you look at this backstory, what a lad! What a lad!
I've got 2 more foodie questions.
Yeah,
Funnily enough, right? One is the pizza question. Do you have pineapple on your pizza?
No way, mate. I'll tell you what I have on my pizza.
Mayonnaise and
yeah. You know what I'm into now? Chilies, jalapenos, meat.
Yeah, I'm far more into that now than what I used to be.
Yeah, I couldn't eat it.
Palate change.
Yeah, but my standard pepperoni, mate.
Yeah.
Mine's always pepperoni.
Oh, but that is the devil's food, man. I could eat pizza all day long, man. I look at pizza and put weight on my ears.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's a challenge.
Now, M&S have just put out this new strawberries and cream sandwich.
Strawberries and cream
what
sandwich.
Do you think? Would you eat it?
So I know the lady that started that viral. Don't know her sort of thing, but we follow each other on Instagram. She's a PR at a really cool clothing company, and she bought it and tried it with her daughter, didn't she, and stuff like that.
I'm not sure.
I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'd buy it.
No.
I'd try it if someone says try this.
Yeah.
I'd try it, but would I actually go in and
I mean, it's
purchase
cream.
it?
You know, what temperature was that at? You know, sort of thing.
I think it needs to be served with prosecco. Like it's got to be like that afternoon tea sandwich, hasn't it? I don't want it for lunch.
I would eat it because, a bit like Joey Tribbiani from like Friends, my favourite food is a sandwich.
I love a sandwich.
Love sandwich.
Can't
man.
eat a sandwich.
I haven't been able to eat them recently.
You can have everything in your sandwich. That's the beauty of a sandwich.
I love it, mate.
Nearly there. So, and what's your favourite movie?
Oh, that is a real challenge. I love things, everything like from Scrooged at Christmas to Daddy's Home to and all that. But favourite, I loved the Godfather trilogy. Loved that back in the day. Superman brings me back, takes me right back to the kid. Favourite movie, that is. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go there. I'm going there. Notting Hill or something like that. Just something that just makes me feel good. I just want to be like Hugh Grant sometimes and just have those beautiful.
Yeah, but Hugh Grant in Paddington, that's his best.
I mean,
that's his best
I just want to have those conversations with ladies that he has. I've never had those conversations. They're so articulate and lovely, and to the backdrop of the most amazing music. Mine's usually like you want to hooch, and that's it, like you know. And then you snog him publicly on the Paul's dance floor, like that. Before I met my wife, obviously.
And then the last question is. When you're walking on stage, what's your music to walk onto?
Oh, wow, this is bizarre. So, we didn't really cover this, but part of my life was actually, I did reality TV. And when I got booted out the Big Brother house, they did a little less conversation, a little more action, please. Like, it was a remix of Elvis Presley's track. So that, or, do you remember Soccer AM?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, who do you think you are, Mr. Beaster? Remember him? It was.
I could see that. Yeah, that would be great.
Just something, I don't know, just that, or a bit of Sam Fender maybe.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, you've survived those, so thank you.
Easy,
that was
easy.
brilliant.
Thank
really
you.
good.
PJ, thanks ever so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I really appreciate you taking the time out of the day and sharing your content with our audience.
You're welcome, mate.
Loved
Listen,
it.
when you get asked to go on an events podcast, you never actually think it'd be as entertaining and nice as it has been. So thanks for making me feel so welcome. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
No problem at all.
Cheers.
Mate.